I myself am visually impaired, and my friend here is also physically challenged. If you are somebody different from the system, then you face a lot of criticism, sometimes despise. You are dependent on other people for a lot of things.
I'm not the body. The kind of world we have, the kind of people we are, relationships are anyway transactional, right? But under nice sounding names like fraternity, like love, like care, in that sense, we are privileged. We are conscious. And if we are conscious, that's the greatest power you can have. That's the greatest independence you can have. The more body conscious you are, the more the body will mean to you and therefore bother you. Somebody might say, I'm helping you for the sake of nothing. I'm helping you just because I'm a good man. No. There are no free lunches. Alexander Zverev, he was one game away from reaching the finals. Right when he's about to win it, he loses 3 games in succession. Is it the body that collapsed? No. Nobody will help you for nothing. There would always be an intent, an agenda, a desire, an interest. Love is not a default. Love is a great exception. Love is possible, but not as default. Define, why exactly are you helping me?
Pranam Acharya ji. Felt happiness to see you in our campus at our home. So my question is kind of little different. So it's about physically challenged people. So I myself am visually impaired, and my friend here is also physically challenged. So the first part of my question is that, as you were saying, that if you are somebody different from the system, then you face a lot of either you are subject to a lot of pity or a lot of criticism, sometimes despise. So in such situations, like what's the way to stay standing with your with dignity? And the second part of my question was that in my experience, the thing that comes in the way of this kind of self-confidence is that you are dependent on other people for a lot of things. So even if you're trying to do the bigger things correct, you are independent, you can manage yourself, you're financially independent and everything, but still the whole infrastructure is defined, is like constructed in a way that when you try to interact with them at some point of your journey, you will have to take some kind of help from other people, and then that invites a kind of, that gives you a sense of dependence. And the other part is also true. So when you try to go out and travel, or so you encounter more logistical challenges, and there is always a fear of self-preservation, that since you are not fully physically able, so you are always in that constant sense of fear that somebody else can harm you. So yeah, so my question, how we should see all these things? Yeah.
You see, first of all, thank you for raising this part. We are a special species. We are not people of the body. We are people of consciousness. You talked of dependence. You talked of logistical issues. Power, when it comes to human beings, is a product of consciousness. It is not so much a product of physical ability. Right? And if you have power, you won't be dependent. Is that not true? If you have power, you don't need to be dependent. For a lion, power is teeth, claws, and muscle. And we very well know that if a lion gets injured, especially in the limbs or in the jaws, it's going to prove fatal. Not that the injury would itself be fatal, the injury might be something that heals on its own in 2 months, 3 months, something. It's a fractured bone, let's say, which gets all right in a couple of months. But the lion is still likely to die. Why? Because it won't be able to hunt. And 2 months is a long time. With a fractured bone, a lion cannot hunt. Just give the lion a fracture and the lion would die. Right? Or if a couple of teeth are missing or hurting, again the lion is likely to die. With human beings, power comes from somewhere else. For the lion, it comes from the muscle and the teeth. For us, it comes from consciousness. Look at Stephen Hawking. The kind of influence and power and recognition and everything that he enjoyed all his life. The animal universe does not have systems of the kind we have. If you are sharp of consciousness, you can pay people. You're not dependent on them. They are replaceable. You are not dependent on them. In fact, they depend on you for their livelihood. To put it crudely, you are their paymaster. Getting this? And if you are dependent on them, that dependency is in the same league as the dependency people have on their drivers or maids or peons. Right? There is a dependency there, but we don't call it dependency because we know that the service provider is replaceable. Then you won't say the fellow is carrying you. You will simply say the fellow is a service provider. Here, you won't say I am dependent. You will say I am the consumer of a service. And that's fine. Nobody is doing you a favor. That's fine. And that's a very honest and a very neat arrangement because the kind of world we have, the kind of people we are, relationships are anyway transactional. Right? But we hide the transactions under nice sounding names like fraternity, like love, like care. No? Whereas the fact is that even that relationship is transactional. The mother is taking care of the child, you want to call it love and care and attachment and all that. The thing is, it is transactional. In your case, it will be cleaner because you will anyway, right at the outset, know that it is transactional. The fellow is helping me in my daily chores, my basic logistics, my movements and any other stuff where you need that kind of physical assistance. He is supporting me not because of love, care, attachment, magnanimity, benevolence, or any of that. He is supporting me because I pay him. And since I'm not a creature of the jungle, therefore, to pay him, I earn out of my Consciousness. The lion too earns his bread. We know what bread is for a lion. The lion too earns his meals, but not from his consciousness, but from his claws. In that sense, we are privileged. We are conscious. And if we are conscious, that's the greatest power you can have. That's the greatest independence you can have. Now think of a fully able-bodied woman, dependent on her family, or her siblings, or her in-laws, or her husband. Right? She is able of all senses. Great ears, great eyes, great height also maybe, 5 feet 10. Strong of build. But mentally dependent. Who would want to exchange places with such a person? Nobody. Nobody. That is what you can call as dependency. Can see, can hear, can touch, can think, but I'm still dependent. Not to be able to exercise one of the 10 senses. Classically, we say the human being has 10 senses. 5 of action, 5 of knowledge. Not to be able to exercise fully or partially one of the senses is hardly any kind of dependency when it comes to our species. Though it's a great handicap when it comes to other species. We just said, you clip one of the wings of a bird and it won't survive. For her, the senses are an existential imperative, not just a dependency. Forget about clipping a wing. Even if the wing muscles get a little hurt or stiff, the bird is gone, finished. Getting it? How does Indian philosophy put it? Naham dehasmi. I am not the body. Bodho aham. I am realization. I am consciousness itself. Therefore, age of the body, limits of the body, disease of the body, all these apply to me only superficially. Vedanta would create 2 levels. It would say, all that is happening to the body is a reality, we admit that, but it's a lower reality. It is a vyavaharik reality. For reasons of pragmatism, we will say, yes, it is my body. Yes, all right, it is my body, fine. Because when it is hurt, I feel the pain. Because I need to eat. Because I need to sleep. For these reasons, yes, I will say it is the body, but even though that is a reality, I will maintain it's a lower reality. The higher reality is that I am conscious beyond the body. That I have the power to not to be limited by the limits of the body, to not to be dictated by the dictates of the body. The more body conscious you are, the more the body will mean to you and therefore bother you. Those, and the body is a very little thing, mind you. The body is a very little thing even for those who are the strongest of bodies. I was watching this Australian Open semis before I left for your campus. And the contender, Alexander Zverev, he was 1 game away from reaching the finals. Leading comfortably. Should have closed the 5th set at 6-4. But right when he is about to win it, he loses 3 games in succession to Carlos. Is it the body that collapsed? No. It is the mind that collapsed. The same thing happened to Sinner when he lost 3 championship points last year. Did his body crumble? No, no way. No. And this is not something that animals experience. This is unique to human beings. For us, mental fortitude means a lot more than physical strength. Think of how wars are fought today. Do you have soldiers meeting in some open space and physically wrestling with each other? Does that happen? No. You can have a very tiny looking scientist or even general pushing one button here and firing an ICBM, and an entire country is gone. Where is physicality in all this? Even in wars, physicality is not needed anymore. Yes, in your roadside brawls, physicality may still count for something. And you may say, I'll punch you in the face and all that. But even meaningful kind of wars exclude physicality. To the extent that now you have pilotless fighter planes. I'm not talking of drones. I'm talking of proper planes, unmanned planes. Where is the physical person needed? The consciousness created the fighting machine, and the fighting machine would do its job. Muscle power has become irrelevant. And that is why it was only after the Industrial Revolution that women could come forward and shine in public life. Because where you have an agrarian society, muscle power means a lot. Still, wherever we have primitive societies dominated by agriculture, you find the status of women is not really proper. For a very practical reason. The muscle is the source of energy, and women have smaller muscles. In agriculture, you need energy. And assuming that the area is not very developed and you don't have tractors and harvesters, where does energy come from? It comes from the human muscle or the animal muscle. Even to drive the animal, you need human muscle. And women don't have that much muscle mass. But as we progress, the role of physicality, muscularity, all that diminishes. Getting it? And there are pleasures of the body, and then there are pleasures of consciousness. Right? Those who have known have told us that pleasures of consciousness far exceed the pleasures of the body. Far exceed. Yeah? So you are in the right league. Life is waiting for you with all the joys it can offer. Make the best of it.
Thank you, sir. Can I have one follow-up? Yes. Yeah, so one thing here was like coming a step back. So in my like practical experience, I have seen that that I have recognized that one thing is very important, that you should be, at least the least is that you should be financially independent and be able to pay for all the extra services and extra things that you will require. But a lot of the help or the transactions that we encounter in our daily life do not involve any kind of financial payment.
Yeah.
So once somebody like tried to help me out with that, so she said,
don't let that happen. Don't let that happen.
Okay.
Don't let undefined help come to you. Because if help is undefined, it is most likely a transaction. Huh? Somebody might say, I'm helping you for the sake of nothing. I'm helping you just because I'm a good man. No, no, no. Let the help be very neatly, clearly defined. Why exactly are you helping me? So you see, there are no free lunches.
Yeah.
This that we are living in is not really a world of love. Nobody will help you for nothing. There would always be an intent, an agenda, a desire, an interest. Something would always be there. Let that be stated upfront. Let that not remain hidden. Because it becomes far more vicious when unstated. Huh? You allow it to remain unworded, unstated. It still remains, or does it not? Just that it is not expressed. And then the fellow will say, oh, I thought it is commonsensical, I thought it was understood, I thought it was obvious. Let nothing remain to this so-called common sense. Make it explicit. Let it be worded. If you are helping me, state clearly what is it that you want. How much money? And money is a very neat thing. Very neat thing. Because it is not ambiguous. 5,000 means 5,000. 5,000 does not mean 5,010. Money is a very neat arrangement. Kindly state how much do you need and put it down in writing so that there is no ambiguity, so that there are no unspoken expectations. Right? So that later on, nobody can claim credit for something he then said was being done out of love. Love is not a default. Love is a great exception. If somebody helps you, thank him profusely. Or offer him some payment. But don't think that the fellow has come to you because the universe is so full of kindness. No, the universe is not full of kindness. The universe is full of evolutionary struggle. Love is possible, but not as default. I often say, प्यार सीखना पड़ता है. It is not our default state. And only 1 in 100 ever come to learn even a bit of love. Okay? So keep the deal clean. Keep the deal clean.
Many times when it's not, clean deal, so the thing that they are expecting is that they can put you in their system, in their thought process. They try to control you.
Yeah. If you want that to happen, then go by their plan. But if you see that there are limits and bondages in complying to their structure, then stay away. Stay away. Yes, none of us, when it comes to the practical world, can be fully independent. We need coordination, cooperation, help, support. All of that is needed, definitely needed. Pay for it. And work really hard. Be disciplined so that you earn enough. Okay? And limit your needs and desires. So that you never have to ask for anything from anybody. Okay?
Thank you so much, Acharya.
Yes, welcome.
So, Pranam Acharya ji, as you talked about that we are the human being of consciousness, okay? So we can overcome our physical disabilities. Suppose if I don't have a hand, I can still be working with my consciousness and earn some stuff. So my elder brother is serious schizophrenia patient. Okay. So due to which his cognitive thinking is being affected. So he understands the stuff. Okay. He see like I provide him daily wages. So he struggles a lot. And I have been in the part of Gita community, but I can not see his pain of seeing me providing him the daily food and beverages. So what do I tell him and what do I make him understand so that his struggle kind of reduces a little bit? Due to his cognitive disabilities, he cannot he can work.
See,
but
as we said, the ego is physiological. And the thing with the ego is it remains even as the body falls and begins to decompose. People remain conscious till very close to their death. Right? Which means the ego remains. One arm is chopped off, the ego still remains. You know what? There have been observations. The head is chopped off and the head falls and rolls. The head stands severed, but it still blinks, rolls the eyes, looks at someone and smiles. Because the brain still has some reserve of blood and oxygen. So it survives for a while and only then falls totally dead. The ego still remains. In the last kind of way, in the disappearing kind of way, but it still remains. And if the ego remains, then choice remains. What is the ego? A chooser. The very name of consciousness is choice. Choice still remains. Yes, there is a lot of mental turmoil. There is a lot of disorder. But the possibility to witness that disorder still remains. Even in the moment of your death, it still remains. Those who are anesthetized, they would sometimes report that we could witness the consciousness fading away. Slowly I could see that I was losing it. Not that that would prevent anesthesia from working. The anesthesia would still work. But you would be in internal control. The body would be controlled by the chemical, but internally you would be controlled by yourself. It is possible. Are you getting it? Though the limits of this answer is the ego being physiological. If the brain, the physical organ, if the brain gets totally corrupted, then this answer does not stand anymore. Whatever I am saying is being said to a human being who has some kind of physiological integrity. If that integrity is damaged beyond a point, then no philosophical or spiritual explanation will help. For example, if the brain goes totally rotten, if there is some deep disorder in the brain itself, then this discussion becomes pointless. But in the situation that you are narrating, I don't think that state has arrived. Therefore, the contents of this discussion might help.
Yeah, I kind of make him close to your videos. So he watches your videos and he writes the self-reflections, and it helps him. But the thing is, like, his cognitive ability is not up to that mark that he can like work for someone and kind of be like
beyond a point. Cognitive abilities are not even needed. What is needed is honest innocence. In fact, innocence counts for much more than intellectual sharpness. So it's not as if in the Gita program we have an IQ entry barrier of 120 or something. Do we have that? Most of us won't cross.
So, but one one point which kind of stuck in my mind is, as you said to her, Shivangi, that at least to be like a part of Gita community and to be like have an intent of liberation, one should first of all at least get the money-wise independence, at least to earn some stuff so that he can feed ourselves. Okay, so that part is missing for him. So I see that even if I kind of explain your teachings to him, but it won't help for him like as it helped for me.
Because he can't earn?
Yeah, because he can't earn.
If somebody is actually so damaged of consciousness that earning has become impossible, then suffering also becomes impossible.
He can earn, but the thing is, like, after 2-3 months of job, he's being fired.
So let him rotate jobs every 2-3 months.
That he has been done for like
That's fine. Let
10
him
years.
do that. That's fine. Let him do that. Don't you rotate your clothes every day? Don't you take a bath every day? Don't you seek fresh meals every day? It's all right. If for the sake of independence, if you have to change jobs every 3 months, do that. That's fine. That's not just fine. Something a bit similar to that is not uncommon in West. Maybe not 3 months, but 6 months, 12 months, youngsters do keep rotating jobs. Yes.
Hello everyone. So I am Shivangi and I am a PhD student at IIT Kanpur. And I have been listening to Acharya ji for 1 year through the Gita community and before that on YouTube. So being with Acharya ji has significantly increased my self-confidence. So like as I am a visually impaired person, and I got this thing not during my, like I was not by birth visually impaired, I got it at some time in my life. So after I got associated with Acharya ji, so my acceptance towards my condition increased significantly. And not just the fact that that kind of acceptance that this is a situation, you have to work with it, but beyond that you are comfortable, you are more happy about it. So when I got associated with Acharya ji, I got to a lot of things that were always on my mind, that I cannot do these kinds of things because I am visually impaired. But then I got to know that anyway these things are not worth chasing. A lot of the things that the society says is good, is worth chasing, is precious, is anyway useless. So when I got that kind of sense that what's actually to look after, what's actually to chase, and what's just jo व्यर्थ hai. So when you get that kind of senses, it gave me a great relief that nature has made me in such a way that I cannot follow the rules of the society. So better be off on your own. So that sense actually truly gave me a lot of strength and confidence in me that I can do a lot of things. So now I have gained the courage to travel, talk to people, to not be ashamed of my clumsiness and a lot of these things, and also to understand that all the relationships, be it personal or any other relationship that you have with a stranger, any other encounter, so everything is kind of a transaction. Okay, So you don't have to never take anybody's pity or anybody's help for that. And whenever there is no cost that you are paying, the cost you're paying is your own freedom. So they'll try to fit you into their thought process, their system. They will tell you that you are physically challenged, so you should have good terms with everybody. You should follow the rules, so that you always get that help from the world around. But this is just a transactional relationship, so your freedom is not the price to pay for that, for this kind of comfort. So that I got to really learn when I got associated with Gita sessions. So that's all from my side. Thank you.